Okay, everybody, how you doing? This is Tim for Tim Man Tools of Home Improvement. We're going to here show you how to do a flower bed with railroad ties, which is a cheap and inexpensive way, but also a really nice way to make your flower beds as nice as possible with the least amount of expense. First and foremost, we're going to have a few things here. We're going to have the railroad tie, which you can pick up in any home improvement. That's going to be about 25 bucks. Then you're going to also have these tools. You're going to need rebar, you're going to need a sledgehammer, you're going to need your level. What we've done already is we've already dug a trench in here, and the trench basically is your starting point for your railroad tie. As you can see here on the railroad tie, what we've done is we've actually put the railroad tie already in its trench. But what we're finding now with this is that the level is telling me that it needs to tilt back. So what you're going to want to do is fill in this gap here with dirt, move your railroad tie to make it so that it is level. Once you do that, then we're going to start putting in these rebars in the railroad tie, which is going to stabilize it, because when you put your next railroad tie on top, you want it to stay symmetrical and you want it to stay as solid as possible for years to come. A lot of people won't even use these. They'll just put one on top of another and try to nail it. That's a short-term flower bed that could deteriorate after time, so this is the best way to go. So let's get started and I'll show you what to do. Okay, so we're going to fill in the gap here with some dirt. First of all, we're going to make sure that there's dirt in the gap that we've made for our spot. Push it in there so it gets nice and tight. And then what we're going to do is we're going to rock so that the dirt you see will form itself and go into the crack. That will make it so that it's leveling itself out. Let me show you the level. Okay, so now we're going to check the level. It's still a little off, so we got to come up a little bit more. So we're going to do the same thing again. Some more dirt. Okay, I need to do a little bit more. Okay, and now we're level. So we're going to put the rebar in now. We're going all the way down to the ground. A nice fit for the rebar. Okay, so what we've done already is we've leveled it. We've already shown on level that it's where it needs to be. Now what you're going to want is you're going to want a drill bit a little bit smaller than the diameter of the rebar, so that when it goes into the hole, you're going to be a tight fit for the rebar to go inside. Once you've gone more than halfway, which is pretty much the distance of this drill bit that I put in here, you hammering the rebar all the way through gives the rebar a tight fit. And I've already done one here that you can see. Now this rebar is secure into the ground. What we're going to do is we're going to keep hammering this rebar down to the distance of what the next railroad tie is going to be, or a little bit higher. So then when we put the rebar, the new railroad tie on, we're going to pre-drill on that one and slide it on to this here, so that it becomes a secure wall fitted for the flower bed that we're trying to do. Pre-drill, and as we're doing it, we're going around in a circle. Okay, now we're ready for the rebar. So we've done the nailing, we've nailed all three in there, and now we've compacted the dirt. The last part of it now is what you want to do is just wet the dirt that you've compacted in the area so that the water itself will use as a barrier to make sure that the water and the mud become a mortar and secure the lumber even better than what it is right now with its 3 spikes that we have. All right, and then we're going to do part 2. And we're going to show you how we're going to put the second step on. But the big thing about part 2 is we want to make sure that when you put the piece on top of the railroad tie, you don't do it at the same cutoff as the other one. You want to sidestep it so that you want them to be not symmetrical, but catty corners, so that that way the bond between the 2 pieces of wood, when they go together, becomes more of a stronger piece of wood that's going to hold all the layers of dirt that you're going to put behind here to make your flower bed the way that it needs to be. All right, so we're going to show you that on part 2. So subscribe to our channel. We're going to keep going with different things for the house. It's going to beautify your house, make it as nice as possible, and save you tons of money. Thanks again.